then, roll call. All right, welcome to the regular meeting of the Hazel Park Board of Education. Today is November 18th. We're excited to see all of you here. Roll call, please.
Adkins.
Here.
Hanson.
Here.
Mr. Hempel.
Here.
Hammond.
Here.
Mrs. Hempel.
Here.
No.
Here.
Block.
Here. All right, we are going to move to the invocation. Pastor Barry David of Landmark Church is here to deliver that. That will be followed by the Webb Elementary pledge after he gives the invocation. So if you would please rise.
Let us pray. Father, we are grateful for this Thanksgiving season. You have been so good to us. Thank you for health and strength and presence of mind. Thank you for the Board of Education that devotes their time to guide this district. We are grateful for our superintendent and for her staff. And we thank you, Father, for the heroes of the homeroom, our great corps of teachers who man the ramparts and deliver quality instruction each day. Tonight we ask for wisdom beyond education and guidance for each decision. May each discussion be pleasing to you, and we will thank you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Okay, if we could get Webb to come up.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
At LF, we do our best by making sure everyone is safe, by being respectful, and by being responsible. We are Webb!
All right. Okay, can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion to approve the agenda is written.
Support. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
No.
Yes.
Mrs. Hempel.
Yes.
Hanson.
Yes.
Mr. Hempel.
Yes.
Hammond.
Yes.
Schlock.
Yes.
Adkins.
Yes. All right. So for our special order of business, are we done with the web piece, or were we going to have some presentations? They have a presentation as well. Okay. So let's start with the Webb Elementary presentation, please.
Right here. And then look at all those pretty faces.
Good evening. I am Angela Wilkins, and I have Dorothy Platt here. We are the Service and Safety Squad supervisors at Webb, and we currently have 65 students that are either on Service or Safety Squad, and these fine folks were chosen because of their dedication and because of their responsibilities that they have, because of how respectful they are, and they make it on time to post every day. They come to post every day. Many of them have even chosen to volunteer to work our boogram sales. So they're just kind of going to go down the line and tell you their name and tell you what their job is and kind of one of their favorite things that they do on their job. Go ahead. Yep.
My name is Jordan Pinder, and I'm Miss Wilkins' service squad member. And one thing I like about it is saying Miss Wilkins. I am Joshua Phillips, and I am service for Miss LaFontaine. And one thing that I like about it is helping all the kids. I am Haley Root, and I am kindergarten lunch helper. And I play kids. I'm Alana Oates, and I learn from Miss Haas. And one of my favorite things to do is helping the teachers.
I'm Thomas Barkle. I take the flag up and down every day, and I also do earrings for the office. My favorite part about it is how, I'm working for America. Putting up the flag.
I'm Ella Beverlin. I work for Ms. LaFontaine's kindergarten classroom. My favorite part is helping out with the class pet.
My name is Alexis Cornwell, and I am Woodward High's Crossing, so I help the web students cross the street. My favorite part of it is helping with little children cross the street.
Hi, my name is Rex Wright, and I do service for the kindergarten doors. My favorite part about it is I feel that I have a responsibility to do. And so it's not just I go to school to learn. I feel, at the end of the day, I feel I have a responsibility to do, which I like about it.
Fantastic.
So as you can see, these are an amazing group of kiddos. We are super proud of them at Webb. Several of them take time out of their own day to do extra things, to give up their own lunch recess so that they can help the kindergartners and the first graders. And we are just very proud to have them at Webb. Thank you.
You guys did a great job speaking up and telling us your reasons for doing it. We're so glad that you could come tonight, so thank you for that. All right, our next special order of business is the Knights of Columbus has a donation presentation.
Okay. Now, who could follow that? Good evening, everybody. Dr. Krupe and President Atkins and board members. I'm Chris Garapi. Representing these fine gentlemen back here, we're representing the Knights of Columbus Father Dolan Council here in Hazel Park. 3170 is our number. We work out of St. Mary Magdalene and St. Justin parishes. Well, that's actually all one parish now. And we hold, at least once a year, a fundraiser drive. You see us out on the streets doing Tootsie Rolls, and that money, the monies from there stays, that we get there stays in the city. It's just, I lost my words all of a sudden. it's raised, it's a state fundraiser, everybody does it, and it goes through, we're allowed to donate to Special Olympics programs and
special needs.
And mentally,
handicapped adults.
no, it's not Joe. Wait a minute. Joe. And
It's mentally impaired.
Mentally impaired. Yeah, there we go. Mentally impaired persons. And we choose every year. We've been doing this, I believe, Jerry, for what, the last at least 10 years.
Yeah.
To donate to Jardin School. It's been various amounts over the years, depending on how we can get out on the corners. This year, our three main characters, this fine gentleman is one of them, Joe Scherg, Brian Wader, and Mark Cosa. They were out in the rain this year on Palm Sunday, week before Easter, and we have a, Jerry?
It's right there.
Oh, we did. Oh, right in front of my nose. We have a check for $1,024 to donate to Jardin School.
Principals.
Hello. There we are.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank all of you for your generosity. Actually, I recognize you. I think when I went to St. Mary Magdalene a long time ago, I think you were an usher.
Yep.
Yes, I remember that face.
Still is.
But this generous donation really does help our students at Jardin, which is an adult transition program for students with special needs that are both autistic and moderately cognitively impaired. So we use this money
to help with things. And specifically this year, we're working on a sensory room that's appropriate for adults. And this we will use for that so that they have a place to go to take some time to relax and fulfill their sensory needs and then get right back to learning. So thank you all very much. It is very much appreciated, all your hard work and dedication. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Pleasure.
All right, thank you very much. We appreciate your dedication and all of you coming to present that. That's wonderful. All right, our next item of special order of business is the boys soccer team introduction. So who's going to be introducing? Dr. Myler?
Yes, Dr. Myler is here.
All right. Okay, we can take a minute for some shuffling.
Well, let us talk first. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you for giving us the opportunity to come in front of the board and recognize this remarkable group of young men that represented Hazel Park High School as our varsity boys soccer team. This year, the team struggled in the beginning of the season as we tried to get as many kids to play, and we actually played our first few games with less than 11 players. But after we got our team set and the season underway, they had some tremendous accomplishments. In our first year in the MAC conference, they finished 8-0 in the silver division, coming in first place. They were 12-7-1 overall. One of the things that we don't hear about often, the MHSAA officials, when they work games, typically have to write up game reports when there's negative sportsmanship. Hazel Park High School received 3 sportsmanship write-ups this year, all in the positive aspect. Their accomplishments off and on the field were second to none. At this time, I'm going to ask each individual to come up and introduce themselves and the year that they are in school, whether a freshman, sophomore, junior, or senior. And then please stay up here in front of the board as I have a couple more things to announce afterwards.
Hello everybody, my name is Junior Kongolo. I'm a senior and I'm a midfielder from Hazel Park High School. I'm a soccer player and I'm grateful to be here tonight. Thank you guys.
Hello, my name is Elijah Gomez. I'm a junior and proud of my team for our accomplishments. Thank you for having me.
Hello, my name is Michael Locke. I'm a sophomore in high school. I'm the best right back in soccer in Michigan. Thank you guys for having us tonight.
Hi, I'm Fabian Marcel Garcia.
I'm a freshman, and I would like to thank everybody who comes here tonight.
I'm Sergio Yusuf. I'm proud of my team. I'm a junior. Forgot to state that. I'm proud of all my boys. Most of them couldn't make it out, but we're just pretty much a happy and proud team of everyone.
I'm Matthew Love, and I'm a junior, and it was a great season.
Also on the team this year, there are some individuals that had basketball tryouts and other things that they had to take care of. Jay Konzorski, who's a freshman, Nico Stevenson, senior, Charles DeCash, junior, Czech Enjai, junior, Lance Taylor, junior, who is also a junior, and Maurice Heath III, who is a senior. The coach of our team is Joshua Laframboy. And also, Junior Congolo was voted by the coaches and members of the MAC Silver Division as the MVP in our league. Because of their accomplishments, I received a phone call today, anonymous donors making a $250 donation to the boys soccer program on their behalf. Thank you for having us.
Thank you for coming tonight. I was super excited, as Dr. Myler mentioned. I had heard at the beginning of the season, like, hey, they don't have enough guys to play, and for you to come to recruit some people and get your team filled out and have a great season, I was super excited for you. Also, we have a resolution later in the meeting. I don't know if we'll stick around or not, but we do have a resolution we're passing to support the soccer team and acknowledge your great season. So thank you. All right, our next item on special order business is our...
Oh, forgot something.
Okay, he's back.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I forgot one thing. Josh? Also in the MAC Silver Division, I forgot to recognize that Josh Laframboy was voted as Coach of the Year.
Oh, dear.
The MAC prides itself on honoring its Coaches of the Year and teams that are selected as, they have a sportsmanship award for each division. Josh will be honored at a later time, as we just put in the order, the league put in the order last Wednesday for the plaques. They receive a nice plaque from the league. So we would recognize him at a later date once the plaque is received from the league.
Congratulations. All right, so the next item on the special order business are student representatives. So, I don't know, from Hazel Park High School we have Sarah Gajos, and then Advantage is Stephen Milner. So, probably doesn't matter who goes first. Dr. Krupe, did you want to add anything before they start? Because I know we haven't had them here yet this year. So
We have not, so we're really fortunate to have our student representatives here with us tonight, and I think they've really thought out and planned what they're going to share with us, and we're looking forward to having them here on a regular basis to share the outstanding things that are happening at both of our schools, so we're really proud. I'm going to let them take it.
Okay, glad to have you here.
All right. I'd like to introduce myself. My name's Stephen Milner. I'm the representative of Advantage, and I'd like to include my principal, Mr. Smith. I'd like him to come forth because he's the best principal that there can be. Yeah, come forth. What I have here is a presentation of what Advantage really is, I like to include my partner in crime.
My name is Trayvon Irby.
All right. Come on. Since I've been going to Hazel Park Advantage, or some people call it BC, I would like to say to students that go there are not bad students or dropouts, but mostly just smart kids who make dumb decisions. As a whole, we're not bad kids, and the teachers who work there are appreciated. When I went to Fitzgerald, I couldn't understand a lot of things, but like English or math or anything. But since I've been here at Advantage, I've been passing classes and I'm on track to graduate.
Great job.
Thank you.
As a student who go to Chrysler, I'm happy to be a part of the program. There was a time when I didn't plan for the future. Since I've been in Chrysler, I pondered my future and recognized that I want to be an electrical engineer. And I would like to work on airplanes through skilled trades at Chrysler. We have built toolboxes, as you can see. I don't have my chessboard, but we're making chessboards next. This school year, we created a student council and a yearbook club. Our yearbook members are interviewing staff and learning the layout and design. Student council members raise money for a future dance by throwing water balloons at Mr. Smith. We also had a spirit week, including Twin Day, Pajama Day, and Wacky Tacky Day, and Superhero Day. In Algebra 2, we're learning parabolas, and we help our kinetic and visual learners learning by shooting a bow and arrow. In the science classes, we dissect animals for students who, in science classes, we dissect animals for the students to have a chance to determine which are organs, tissues, or systems.
What are you dissecting there?
What's that picture of?
Go back. They're both pigs that they're dissecting.
Pigs?
Yeah.
All right.
Cooking Matters. Cooking Matters is a Gleaners program that met weekly and taught elementary and middle school students how to cook healthy meals like veggie fajitas. And our field trips. 25 students from Advantage went on a field trip to Wayne State for a resource fair. We met with different colleges and corporations such as Henry Ford Community College and Focus Hope. We learned how to obtain different local scholarships, FAFSA training, and how to get ready for college in general. We also went to the Garden Fresh Salsa Factory and learned about production and how to go about building a business. The boys basketball team. The basketball team did a community service for the elderly community members by raking leaves and shoveling snow. Some of the members were not eligible to play because of previous discipline issues, but community service was a way to atone for their negative behaviors. The tournament was postponed due to the snow day, and it would take place this Friday, November 22nd.
What time?
What time?
What time?
What time is the tournament?
9 to 2.
In the morning?
Yes.
Okay.
And where will it be?
Basketball City.
Thank you.
No, 9 a.m.
Sorry.
So that was you guys out doing
Shoveling snow.
Shoveling
Snow, raking leaves.
Yes, shoveling, raking.
And these are the teachers on Twin Day. thankful for y'all to have me be here and present to y'all.
Well, we always enjoy hearing what you're up to over there, so thank you for covering some of the things. Does the board have any questions? The pictures help illustrate some of the stuff. I don't know if I needed to see the pig or not, but no, thank you very much for your time. We appreciate you coming tonight.
Thank you.
Good job.
I'm Sarah Gajos, and I go to Hazel Park High School. Unfortunately, I don't have pictures for you guys, but next time I promise I will. I'm a junior, and I have been attending Hazel Park schools my entire life. I love a lot about HP, from the community as a whole to teachers and most importantly the clubs. Currently, I am a member of the Student Council, the Acts of Kindness Club, NHS, NAHS, and the Hazel Park Community Coalition, including our Youth Action Board. I just really like to be involved. Currently at the high school, our Student Council has organized into committees to plan out different events, including the talent show, Spirit Week, and pep rallies, coin stalls, and therapy dogs / powder buff. Moving on to the AOK Club, we are currently working on Pride videos, which are videos that show what to do and not to do when following our motto of prepared, respect, integrity, dedication, and engaged. It's really quite fun, and I just thought I'd like to let you guys know that in one of the videos I played a bad kid. That was really fun. So something I'm really proud to be a part of is our National Honor Society, or NHS. Right now we are hosting our school's yearly turkey challenge, which is, I'm sure most of you guys know, it's where we raise money to give food to families so they can have a dinner on Thanksgiving. It's really quite incredible. Moving on to another current event, last week our high school had a vaping seminar for all grades. And for those that took it seriously and really paid attention, it was really informational. However, I, along with some other students, felt it was sort of ineffective. Most students weren't interested in listening and made jokes about it. So a solution that I came up with was to make it more hands-on and allow students to answer questions and win a prize, or do activities to get them involved while also educating them on what vaping does to you. And then another solution I came up with was making activity that's completely student-led, because I like to believe that students learn from other students and we relate to each other because we're all around the same age. So yeah, so thank you guys.
Thanks for coming. So it's nice to hear everything that's going on at the high school, and I know that, and I think seeing maybe some of those videos coming out AOK would be great. I'm sure the board would like to see some of those. I heard that there was some of that videotaping going on to reenact some things. So thank you.
Sarah is also one of the members of this Superintendent Advisory Committee, so I'm really excited about the new committee this year, and we're going to hopefully have them come and gather in front of the policy committee of the board, and I think they have some great ideas about dress code and the cell phone policy to share with you as well.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. If we're done with our special order of business, we're going to move on to the public comment. I'd like to remind the audience to fill out a slip of paper on the counter and turn it in if you'd like to participate. I do have one so far. And I'd like to read the following. The Hazel Park Board of Education values public meetings, not just meetings in public. We welcome public comment on school issues. Comments should be stated in 3 minutes, and the board respectfully asks that the comments remain focused on the topic or issue and not on specific personnel. We welcome your comments but cannot discuss or debate items not on the agenda. When asked to discuss non-agenda items, we can share facts but not engage in discussion. We need to follow the Open Meetings Act regarding public notice on issues that involve personnel or other community members so that proper notice may be given. So at this time I have a slip for Ian Lloyd.
Greetings. Hazel Park resident, 992 East Mahan, Hazel Park, Michigan. And I had a concern I wanted to bring up as a continuation. I met with the board in closed session on 5/20 of 2019, and I requested an investigation into fraudulent behavior perpetrated by Dr. Krupe, our superintendent.
We can't talk specifically against personnel on this.
She has a track record of out of state doing this in another
We cannot
community.
discuss that during public comment. I need you to focus on the issue or concerns you have.
Okay, so I'll just read what I have, okay? On Dear Hazel Park's elected school board members, I think you've received this already.
We did receive it. Do you want me to address it with you, or?
By email, I sent it.
Yep.
Well, I want to discuss it. On 5/2019, I attended the Hazel Park School Board of Education meeting in person to formally request an investigation of the Hazel Park Superintendent's conduct in office due to a suspicion of internal organizational fraud and hostile working conditions directed against her employees. It should be noted that a closed session occurred on that day, and the school board never adjourned the closed session by publicly reciting the agenda or meeting minutes from the closed session in accordance with the Open Meetings Act. It now appears as if the superintendent of the Hazel Park Public School District
I've asked you, we can't
subsequently
talk
obstructed the
specifically about-
investigation by the Board of Education from occurring. In an apparent attempt to cover up financial irregularities to the school finances, the public school superintendent engaged in intentional misfeasance in office.
Okay, Mr. Lloyd,
and
I've asked
dereliction
you
of
not to specifically call
fiduciary
out
duties.
personnel. I've asked you specifically, I need you not to talk specifically about our personnel. I can tell you where we stand on that. We did receive your complaint.
I'd like to continue, please.
I would like you not to speak specifically about personnel. That's our rule on public comment. You can, if you want to share your concerns, and that needs to not be directed specifically at a person.
There are other Open Meetings Act violations. Some of the dereliction of the fiduciary duties include, in less than 6 days of having been in receipt of the formal in-person request to investigate internal fraud, our leader surreptitiously created further suspicion of fraudulent activity by convening an impromptu and unscheduled public hearing in June 2019 without appropriate public notification to permit participation of the residents of the city of Hazel Park. This deviation in routine stood out from accepted standard operating accounting procedures for special school board meetings that involve public school finances previously adopted during her tenure.
Mrs. Atkins, I'm sorry.
The superintendent of the Hazel Park School District appears to show an intent to cover up the alleged internal fraud, financial irregularities related to the public school budget.
Mr. Lloyd, we need you to not specifically talk about personnel. Our lawyer here, Mr. Garrick, I don't know if there's anything you can help guide this.
Excuse me, I believe you should recuse yourself, and I'd like Dr. Krupe to recuse herself from obstructing the board's actions tonight. I am a citizen, I'm a veteran of this United States, and I would like to speak. No, I don't think you need to interrupt me as a public resident. I'm sorry, would you please recuse yourself?
Okay.
I'm asking that you recuse yourself. And Dr. Krupe, I feel as if you obstructed the
I just asked you, you
board
cannot
from conducting an
specifically.
investigation, and I believe you ethically have an obligation to recuse yourself. And it didn't happen that night, and
Mr.
I'm here
Lloyd,
to
I
help
need
it out.
you to not, all right, are you done? I need you to, you can talk, but you can't specifically talk personnel. That's what I was trying to get across to you, so.
Okay, well,
So if you'd like to hear my response,
no, I would like to, in writing, your response.
we are going to respond to you in writing. That is our
Okay.
intention.
And I would like our minutes from the closed session to reflect an allegation against Dr. Krupe because it's inaccurate to state attorney-client privilege. I wondered, Dr. Krupe, since this is all against the law, what I'm accusing you of, do you have a financial record that you've reimbursed him
No,
for
this
your
is not,
representation?
no. This
Dr.
is not a
Krupe,
discussion, Mr.
because
Lloyd.
he doesn't represent you.
Mr. Lloyd. we
So I'm
cannot
on
have
the Freedom
correct
of
personnel.
Information Act tonight, all legal services for 5/20/19. I would like itemized description of all legal services paid. And in the future, I suggest that you put a request to approve legal services, because I do believe that Dr. Krupe's gamed the whole integrity of our district with using legal services against employees. We have over 347 people that have departed in the last 3 years. And you're not an emergency manager,
Mr. Lloyd,
Dr.
please keep your
Krupe. You don't
comments
have
for-
that ability to do that to our district. A race to the bottom is what you took us, and I'm not happy
Okay,
with that
Mr.
at
Lloyd,
all.
your 3 minutes is up. Thank you. Go ahead, Mr. Garrick. would you
Mr.
like-
President, I think it's just
Please recuse yourself.
important for just members of the audience to understand that Mr. Lloyd sent an email to all the board members on November 7th, which he was starting to read today. Upon the district's request, we investigated the allegations, as well as Mr. Zernis, the business manager. We investigated complaints.
Where's the written report? And who did you provide that to?
We did not find any evidence to support any of Mr. Lloyd's allegations of financial fraud or violations of the Open Meetings Act or any improprieties whatsoever. We conferred with Plant Moran on this, and we found no evidence whatsoever to support any of his allegations in his November 7th email, which he's repeated today. So I just wanted, and I will be sending him a letter confirming that fact, that we haven't investigated.
So, Mr. Lloyd, you will receive a written report per your request. And we will move on because I don't have anything further for public comment.
No further, but he gets to speak.
You got your 3 minutes. Okay, so moving on to consent agenda. Can I get a motion, please?
I move Board of Education accept the consent agenda as presented.
Support.
Roll call.
Schlack.
Yes.
Mr. Hazel.
Yes.
Hinton.
Yes.
Hammond.
Yes.
Mrs. Temple.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Atkins.
Yes. We do not have any unfinished business, so moving on to new business. Item A is the boys soccer team resolution. So I mentioned that we had this, and we will be signing this resolution, and they will receive it. I know they're not all here to hear it, but can I get a motion first?
I move the Board of Education adopt the resolution honoring the Hazel Park Board of Hazel Park's soccer boys. Yeah, what? Soccer team, sorry.
I support it.
Thanks. All right, I'm going to go ahead and read the resolution as part of our discussion. A resolution to honor and commend the coach and members of the Hazel Park High School boys soccer team upon winning the MAC Silver Division Championship. Whereas it is fitting that the Hazel Park Board of Education acknowledge those students, athletes who, through their extraordinary efforts, have distinguished themselves as true champions of whom we can all be proud. And whereas the members of the Hazel Park boys soccer team and coach Josh LaFramboise have proven themselves to be fierce competitors and as such deserving of the highest regard as they recently won the Macomb Area Conference MAC Silver Division. And whereas the members of the Silver Division champion Hazel Park Vikings are Fabian Garcia, Elijah Gomez, Jay Konjorski, Nico Stevenson, Charles Dakesh, Shek Nadai, Sergio Yosef, Michael Rattal Jr., Congolo, Matthew Love, Michael Locke, Lance Taylor Jr., and Maurice Heath III. And whereas the members of the soccer team epitomize all that is good in today's student athlete as they have achieved a premier level of success in competition while exhibiting the highest degree of character in all aspects of life. And whereas perseverance, determination, work ethic, and the talent of this group not only made possible a championship season, but also surely bode well for future success. Now therefore be it resolved that the Hazel Park Board of Education honor and congratulate the coach and members of the Hazel Park High School boys soccer team upon winning the MAC Silver Division Championship and extend to them our best wishes for every continued success and all their future endeavors. Is there any additional discussion on the resolution? All right, roll call.
Mr. Hempel?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Henry?
Yes.
Ammons?
Yes.
Mrs. Hempel?
Yes.
Fox? Atkins?
Yes. All right, moving on to personnel recommendations. Item B, we have, we break these out and vote separately to accommodate some of the conflicts on the board. We will start with the AFSCME group, which is the custodial. Can I get a motion, please?
I move the Board of Education accept the administration's recommendation for the ASME employee group as presented.
Support.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Fox?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Hampton?
Yes.
Mr. Hempel?
Yes.
Ammons?
Yes.
Mrs. Hempel?
Yes.
Atkins?
Abstain due to familial conflict. Next union is HPEA, the teachers union. Can I get a motion, please?
I move the Board of Education accept the administration's recommendation for the HPEA employee group as presented.
Support.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Fox?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Hampton?
Yes.
Mr. Hempel?
Yes.
Ammons?
Yes.
Mrs. Hempel?
Yes.
Atkins?
Yes. Item 3 is the HPPA, the paraprofessionals. Can I get a motion, please?
I move the Board of Education accept the administration's recommendation for the HPPA employee group as presented.
Support.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Fox? Yes. Hampton?
Yes.
Mr. Hempel?
Abstain due to conflict.
Ammons?
Yes.
Mrs. Hempel?
Abstain due to familial conflict.
No.
Abstain due to familial conflict.
Atkins?
Yes. Item 4 is the IUOE, the secretarial union. Can I get a motion, please?
I move the Board of Education accept the administration's recommendation for the IUOE employee group as presented.
Support.
I'm sorry, discussion? Roll call.
Fox?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Hampton?
Yes.
Mr. Hempel?
Yes.
Ammons?
Yes.
Mrs. Hempel?
Yes.
Atkins?
Abstain due to familial conflict. Item 5 is unaffiliated employees. Can I get a motion, please?
I move the Board of Education accept the recommendations for the unaffiliated employees as presented.
Support.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Fox?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Hampton?
Yes.
Mr. Hempel?
Yes.
Ammons?
Yes.
Mrs. Hempel?
Yes.
Atkins?
Yes. All right. Thank you. Moving on to item C, request for winter technology support. Can I get a motion, please?
I move the Board of Education approve the administration's request for winter technology support as presented.
Support.
Discussion.
So during the winter time, we always try to bring in graduates or current high school students to help with technology, and we're again requesting the ability to do so.
Mrs. Scott, did you get what you needed?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. All right, so support, good, we got to keep those Chromebooks current, so roll call.
Fox?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Hampton?
Yes.
Mr. Hempel?
Yes.
Ammons?
Yes.
Mrs. Hempel?
Yes.
Atkins?
Yes.
Thank you for your support in that.
Item D, request to purchase MTSS materials. Can I get a motion, please?
Move that the board accept the administration's recommendation to purchase MTSS materials as presented.
Support.
Discussion.
So this year we not only were kind enough to give us another MTSS teacher, even though we probably need another one for each grade level given the students and the needs that we have here in Hazel Park. But as I've started to meet with them this year, I've come to realize that there's some additional materials that they need. And so through our discussion and some professional development, they submitted to me the requests that they have in each of the schools. And so they'd like to go further in the corrective reading, which focuses on the reading comprehensions as we've outlined, as well as the SRA materials for math. This purchase totals $52,000, which also has some free professional development and paying for the connected math professional development. So we're requesting to purchase this evening so we can get it into our hands of our teachers as soon as possible to continue to move forward in helping our students in the elementary and the junior high.
Does the board have any questions?
I do. So what type of material is this? Is this books, software?
So it's intervention materials. So there are books, and then there's workbooks. Great English. Then there are workbooks as well. And so what it is it's pull-out instruction for those students that are really struggling in the area of reading and math. And the teachers work in small groups of 1 to 4, 1 to 5, and it's very directed instruction on helping students learn comprehension, but also breakdown of words. We already do it right now in a product called Reading Mastery, and this is the next level up for our students for reading comprehension. But also then math concepts is the same kind of instruction. So it's really breaking it down and helping them to facilitate their learning. It's the intervention of what the MTSS teachers do. It's research-based.
So these kids are in the classroom, or are they taken out of the
They're
classroom?
taken out of the classroom for those 30 minutes of segment time, and then also in success time at the high school. So they're doing Math 180. This is even lower than Math 180. We're finding very discrepant when our students come in. They're really lacking some of the really basic computational skills that they've not gotten. So this takes them back to learning some of the computational skills, addition, subtraction, multiplication, the basic concepts we know that we need to be able to do in order to do math. And the same with reading. If you don't have some of the phonemic awareness, if you don't have some of the basic comprehension skills, when it comes time to read books, you're not able to move forward. So this really backs them down and picks up some of those missing pieces for our students.
Okay. Any other comments from the board?
What account is this coming from?
This will come from each of the buildings' curriculum accounts. So each building, we put curriculum dollars in, as we do every year, and each building has line items that are built into for curriculum.
So this was planned in the budget?
Yes.
All right, anything else?
No.
All right, roll call.
No.
Yes.
Schwab.
Yes.
Hampton.
Yes.
Mr. Hempel.
Yes.
Hammond.
Yes.
Mrs. Hempel.
Yes.
Atkins.
Yes. All right, item E, just acknowledging received a FOIA request regarding to some electrical work that was done. I don't know if there's anything else to be said on that one.
That's good enough.
Dr. Krupe, I don't.
No, this is just a FOIA request, a request for information.
All right, moving on to item F, which is the Michigan Association of School Boards Conference Report. So this is me, because I went to the conference last weekend, and since we had a light agenda, I thought I would just talk for a few minutes. So the Michigan School Board Conference was last weekend. It was in Traverse City, and I have to say it was probably one of the best conferences I've been to in years. So it was, every session, every speaker was fantastic. I got a lot out of it. I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about it right now, but I did provide a presentation that Ferndale did on some of the diversity work they've been doing. So you guys should all have a copy of this. Feel free to look through it. We can talk about it at our workshop, but I thought they had some really interesting things that they're working on finding commonality among their students, on some of the motivation, some of the work they did on their dress code. As we're reviewing our dress code, might be it's interesting to see that what they've been doing there. So you have that information with you. I was telling Mr. Zernis, and he stepped out, that I saw a lot of the vendors. They were, eager to talk to Hazel Park. I think I talked to the architect from TMP that's going to be coming to the high school and looking at what changes we want at the high school. And so she said she was coming pretty soon. They said they were setting a date. We had a legislative discussion where they had two Republicans and a Democrat that had kind of just an open session, and we could talk about current legislative things going on, and it was a very pleasant conversation. It was really refreshing to have to be able to talk about discussions and both sides find some balance on what's needed, because I think everyone agrees that there's challenges in Michigan education. One of the hot topics that the districts really weren't necessarily in alignment is the current legislation where they're looking at whether to require school board members to have training. So there's dissension there on whether the state should require school board training or whether the local district should require it. I think everyone agrees it's a good idea. I think there's a lot of pressure on school boards. It's an elected position. There's a lot to know. I think all of us would agree that it takes some time to get your bearings, and training only helps. But just so you know, the MASB is supporting it, but there was definitely a lot of discussion about what that looks like, what would be valuable, who's going to pay for it. So I guess the advantage is if they're going to pay for it, well then that might help the districts as well. So, but it was a really good discussion. I mean, we talked through some of the budget concerns. The other thing that I emailed you was just on some of the session I went on, the code of ethics, where they talked through, adopting it, which we had in we recently reviewed our operating principles. It was in our consent agenda tonight that we all agree and we review annually, but they also talked about just how to hold people accountable, how to have a good discussion. The fact that we're reviewing them annually is what we want, and that's what we've been taking steps to do. So you should have an email with some presentations that had some interesting suggestions for how to enforce code of ethics. We can't, as a board, you can't remove a member no matter what, right? Like they're elected to the board, but it's how to work through some things that you might have. I attended a few other classes on curriculum and labor relations, and even though I've been on the board 5 years, I think I was able to learn something from every session, so that was great. I went to another session that Troy did on some of their reading drill down that they're doing, that they did as a result of the third grade reading law. And they, I thought it was really interesting that they were working to close gaps just like we do, right? You've still got pockets of students that don't perform as well, and what can you do about it? And they really dove deep into their data, and it was really nice to see, that they're not the only district, that, they, along with us, even though they, have challenges in some of their minority groups, so. Anybody have any questions for me? I'd be happy to talk to you, but I just wanted to give you my highlights. So, I appreciate you sending me because I thought it was really good. So, all right, so that's the school board conference. The next item on the agenda is superintendent update. So enrollment, Dr. Krupe?
Just our enrollment numbers. We'll continue to watch these. The next count that happens in February will be the count that helps facilitate our state aid for next year. So we want to watch for that count date, so you can see that our numbers are lower than last year at February count time. I believe we're getting less students of choice, and we didn't accept all the students that came to us as well. So we'll keep watching these numbers as we're going through to the next count date.
I have a question.
Sure.
The 18-19, are those the numbers from count day this year in October?
Those 18-19 are the end of the closing days.
Okay, so we don't have the October numbers yet.
We do have the October numbers. The October number, it's not approved yet, but I think it was 3027. Would that be right, Matt? It was 3027 was the count number for October?
That seems about right.
It's about right. Mm-hmm.
And when you say it's not approved, that means there's still some
It's
vetting
not been
going on?
audited yet.
It has not been audited.
Right, so when you're audited, it really will depend on, and remember, those numbers will be based upon, they're not 1 FTEs, and if you're in the Viking virtual versus in the high school, there's a part there, part if you're special ed, and so there's all kinds of different numbers that'll go into that as well. So, and you could lose numbers if you're audited and things aren't done quite correctly. So there's all kinds of different pieces that go into your final count number based upon your audit.
The one in Jardin shows, what is a PH?
So this year, based upon, according to Cheryl, they moved some of our other students into Jardin besides just our students that are at Jardin. So some of our students that were in Web before and some of our SXI and other programs are in the Jardin count. So just as how Cheryl's been told through some of her classes up at the ISD about where we put some of our students. So it's more of our special ed students are up there that used to be in Jardin.
So the 70 is somewhere else in the district? Is that what you're? Because that's why I see red. I didn't know what that.
Yep.
All right.
All right, any other comments?
Thank you.
All right, Dr. Krupe, was it, right?
Yep, that was it.
Okay, all right, so then we are at board member and administration comments. Ms. Schlepp?
Great things happening here. Congratulations to the soccer team. Thanks to Web for coming and your presentation. It's adorable. I knew a couple of those kids from Cub Scouts, and can't say that there's no coincidences there. So, what else? Oh, have a wonderful Thanksgiving next week, guys. I hope you all eat a lot of food and watch a lot of football and have a lot of fun with your families. And I guess we'll see you guys in December.
My turn. Well, Ms. Nastashi, you should be very proud of your students. I think they did a fabulous job. They are well-mannered kids, you can see that, and they represent our district very well. So kudos to you and your staff. Thank the Knights of Columbus for their donation. Our schools really appreciate it more than I even know. Soccer team, congratulations. It was nice seeing that, you know, our sports as well as our education, our students, that we are shining, and I'm very proud of our kids. Our student representatives, Advantage, I think that was great. It's more than just going to Advantage, EZA, as some of the kids would say in the past. It looks like they're having fun, education, and they love their principal, it's obvious, so he must be doing something good there. I wish you all a happy Thanksgiving, be thankful for what you got, and God bless you.
All right, so ditto to what Christine Sue said about all the presentations tonight. They were wonderful. I think that really gets us back to the core of what we're here to do, right? I'd like to report out the community engagement team had their craft and vendor show this past weekend, and I think it was a huge success. Lots of foot traffic, lots of vendors. I know I heard a lot of positive things from everyone that kind of came through, so hats off to them. The play is this weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday night. So get out and see that. 12 Angry Jurors.
So,
Yeah, it has my interest. So, they always put on a good production, so I encourage everyone, if you're looking for something to do fun this weekend. And yeah, Thanksgiving's that weekend, so have a great time with your families. If you're traveling, be safe. And this is the time to reflect and think about what you're thankful for. And I think that I'm happy to be part of this team and a part of this district. And thank you, and I'll see you all in December. Lots of more fun stuff to come up.
Dr. Kirby?
So we'll be real excited. Next month, I believe we're going to have our robotics team here from United Oaks and maybe another one. So we're real excited to share that with our group, and we'll have another elementary school. So stay tuned as we continue to highlight our fabulous schools. I am saddened, but I hope we all take a moment to think about our early childhood student that passed away this last month, as well as our former graduates that passed away as well. So always thinking about our community and our students that have passed through our school, and I know we're all thinking about that. I also want to go on to say how proud I am of our business department. They had a outstanding audit. Our finances are very secured. The only person that can do anything with our finances, there has to be a double check. And so our audit was clear. Our finances are run by our finance department. And we couldn't be more proud of the work that they do, and they are incredibly financially responsible. So thank you for all you do, that you continue to do, and continuing to run. I'm excited for June 30th to come, when we've come out of debt, and it's really thanks to the entire school district, our teachers, our paraprofessionals, our secretary, and you couldn't be finer. And again, if you remember that audit, there was not anything on that audit that would say that anything was done incorrectly. I also want to continue to thank you for the board for continuing to do things the correct way. We're just really proud of you as well. The other thing that I would say is recently I had a young lady meet with me, and she said, Dr. Krupe, when you sit up here, how do you handle some of the things that get thrown at you, the critiques or the things that happen on social media? And I gave her a hint, and I said, just look above at the heads and do what's right. So what I'm going to say is, in the tune of Mr. Rogers, remember there's 3 things you need to remember to do: be kind, and be kind. So I wish you all a happy Thanksgiving, because I will continue to smile and look out to you doing the things that I love, and that's taking care of kids in Hazel Park, and I will continue to just be kind.
Dr. Kirby, could we give a quick shout out? We had some notes of appreciation to some donations for the district. I don't know if you could, it looked like to the Hazel Park Creative Arts donation and to Cyrus Shank Kolax, is that?
Yes, so yes, we had, the Creative Arts gave a fantastic donation. So we want to thank them. So they gave paints, brushes, and locks. Paint brushes so that they could paint the $2,000 donation that my husband's company, Cyrus Shank, gave to give locks so that kids throughout the district can do locks. So Cyrus Shank is the company of my husband that he's done, and actually there'll be another $5,000 donation that will be coming next month, as well as $1,000 for the community baskets, the holiday baskets. So thank you for that.
Thank you. Yeah, we appreciate all the donations that help our district move along and do some special projects. So, all right, Mrs. Hammond.
Okay, I just want to say the craft show Saturday was a huge success. And I'm back in Jardin with all their little outdoor doormats. I mean, they are fantastic. I've ordered them. I've sent them all over the United States for family. Get them. They don't wear out. I've had one at my door for 20 years now, and it's very nice. I'll back that. And then our community rep, Lisa Crouch Johnson, worked so hard to get everybody in line for that sale. It was tremendous. I watched her walk and I said, the time this day's over, your feet will fall off. And I'm sure she was hurting when she left that night. And thankful for Hazel Park. I've lived here since 1965 and my boys came through school. Grandkids are here now, and I'm thankful for Hazel Park.
Thank you. Mr. Humphrey?
Yes, same where Thanksgiving is on its way, turkey, all right. Thank you for Jordan for the invitation to their Halloween party, which was fun. I appreciate that. The kids were excited, they had a blast. Kudos to the K-9 unit at Hazel Park for winning the SUV.
Right.
So now, hopefully he brings it around and shows the district his nice little vehicle. So that's exciting to hear that he won. We'd like to thank our staff for all the hard work they've done to keep this district going in the right direction. And everyone, have a good Thanksgiving, and we'll see you next month.
So I have the other side of the coin. All of these things are wonderful and they continue to happen, always will happen because we have great people working here. But I wanted to request that the blueprint video on our website come down. I have the blueprint data that we're so into data. So I'd like to share that. I don't like the blueprint. I haven't liked the blueprint. I know there's pieces of it that are good, but it isn't the successful program that they say, okay? Promise to turn around in 18 to 24 months. Traverse City, Grant Chandler was asked of Traverse City, why wasn't it working in 24 months? And he said he guessed at the time frame. Test scores would improve. We are the lowest test scores in 5 years here in Hazel Park. And the excuse was in 15, it was the MEP test, so now we have a different test. I still say it's a blueprint. It's not meant to create teacher turnover, and we've lost 140 teachers since 2016. Pottersville called Chandler a headhunter. Traverse City asked who was successful at their January meeting, and he said Farmington and Lincoln Park. Farmington's not even doing it. Lincoln Park is fabulous. If you visit their website, I haven't looked at their scores, but he was right about that. But he said everywhere he goes, they're talking about Hazel Park. He can't go anywhere, not 20 miles down the road from here, and people are saying, what's Hazel Park doing? It's so amazing, we want to do it too. So, I write letters. I've always written letters. I have a write-up from Mrs. Scott. I was submitted for an award that I investigate. I look, I search, that was probably 1999. It's who I am. So I've written letters, and I always clearly say that I am not representing the board. I'm representing myself. So I wrote to State Representative Robert Wittenberg. I wrote to Senator Jeremy Moss, Governor Whitmer. None of them ever heard of Blueprint. Okay, those are top people here, but everywhere he goes, they're talking about Hazel Park. We have the second lowest scores above Pontiac. Pontiac's at the bottom, we're second. We're told don't pay attention to the M-STEP scores. That's how they determine if we're a priority school. They don't look at Ames Webb and all the other scores, those aren't in the newspaper. The M-STEP is in the newspaper. We have 430 kids going somewhere else, but he says we're a beacon of hope and an emerging phoenix. Why aren't our kids here? He was recently investigated under the Michigan Department of Education. He resigned. He's renamed his failing program Students Matter. There's no blueprint. Oakland Schools is no longer supporting the blueprint program. I think it needs to come off of our page. I wouldn't have did some of this investigating, except the article that was written here where 30 people were interviewed. I wasn't allowed to have the names because I might intimidate them, which is the farthest thing from my character. So if 30 people thought it was so great, why weren't they on the buildings shouting from the rooftops and say, 400 kids come back here? So I'm just asking, to me that's false advertising. The man isn't even doing blueprint anymore. I did discuss this personally with Dr. Krupe, and Dr. Chandler, Grant Chandler says, what's his 3 things? I'm drawing a blank. Oh my gosh, again, I'm drawing a blank. How successful it is. He's been to 3 countries, but he doesn't say what countries he went to. He doesn't say how many kids were in those schools, and he doesn't say how much money those schools had. And to me, he needs to share that information. The whole thing, I think that the Michigan Department of Education dropped him and he resigned is enough that we need to not continue with the program. My other thing, this is really hard. It's been a fantastic night and there's been really great things here, but I need the board to hear all of this at the same time. So nothing can be switched around or made up or whatever might happen to me, okay? Dr. Krupe called me in on October 30th and...
we still can't talk about personnel, even us. You gotta be careful what you're saying.
I'm happy to go into closed session.
If you wanna go into closed session,
I'll go into closed session.
Yep.
Yep. I just want you to know I'm not gonna stop because I was asked.
We need a motion if we're going to go to closed session.
Make a motion to go into closed session.
Support.
For personnel matters.
All right,
We need
roll
to bring
call.
our
Wait,
attorney back.
we need discussion. Is there any discussion?
Yeah, we need our attorney back.
He'll be back in 10 minutes.
Okay, roll call.
Roll call, okay. Mrs. Temple?
Yes.
Hammond?
Yes.
Hinton?
Yes.
Mr. Temple?
Yes.
No?
Yes.
Rock?
Yes.
Atkins?
Yes. All right, so we are back, and then we just continue with, we don't have any motion coming out of closed session, and I am going to do my comments to the empty gallery. Rachel just brought to my attention, we have a Christmas tree lighting next Tuesday at 6 o'clock at the ice arena. That's always a pleasant one to go and ice skate, and I know that I saw a request for cookies out there. I'm not sure what else they're having this year, but I'm sure it'll be a pleasant night, and I'm trying to figure out how to get there. I can only find my notes that I had for closing. One of the things that I did want to say from the conference was that it inspired me to focus on the students and what we need to do, and it's going to take courage. And we have to be courageous in fighting for what's right for this district and for what's right for our students. And nothing else is really that important to me besides that. That's why I ran for this board position, was because I was concerned about the education my kids are receiving, and I wanted to improve it because I knew we could do better. And so my commitment is going to continue to be with that, and I felt really actually refreshed in talking to other boards and other districts and their struggles and the things they're going through, because we are not alone. There's a lot of people fighting that good fight right now, and it's tough. And Michigan, is getting battered on education in terms of national rankings and things that come out. But I guess I wanted to affirm that my commitment to you, that's where my focus remains. And I wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving, and thank you to the administrative team. I know you guys work really hard, and I love having you in place. We've got a lot of good things going on. So with that, there it is.
Support.